Hello, beautiful, wonderful friends. Welcome back to Julie Plays Games. I'm Julie, and I am playing a game. We're back here in Fabled Lands with our rogue named Morana. She has been trying desperately to make her way through the forest lately. We have the Forest of Laren or Larun. I still don't know how we're going to pronounce that. And we really, really, really want to bring the staff to the Willow Druid. And I just want to give some context here if you were not watching yesterday's episode. So we have to make a scouting roll for this. And we have a pretty mediocre scouting, and it's a difficulty of 12, which means our odds of success are 41.67%. And we did this 4 times yesterday and did not get it a single time. And I just feel like statistically that doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make me happy. So we're going to do this one more time today. Just one. We will see if we get it. If we don't, we're going to move on and go do something else. If we do, fantastic, wonderful, super. We're going to go into the forest. But let's see. All right, deep breath. Maybe we'll get it this time. This might be it. This could be it. Oh my god, we finally got it. Oh, okay. Yes, success. I have goosebumps. I'm so excited. Okay. So you come across a forest glade. Birds twitter in the trees and woodland animals frolic playfully about. In the middle of the glade stands a mighty willow, ancient beyond reckoning. The trunk is hollow and a wooden door has been set in the entrance. You step into the glade. Oh no. So now we have to make a sanctity roll. We have a pretty low level here. It's a difficulty of 9, so we have slightly above a 50% in odds. Alright, let's see. Okay, we made it. We're rolling pretty well today. So we are pious enough to be allowed to enter the sacred grove. You step in and knock on the door. A kindly old druid opens the door and greets you. You hand him the oak staff. Thank you, says the druid. An oak staff, eh? That's an interesting message, to be sure. He hands you 50 shards as payment and a willow staff, saying, please take this staff to the oak druid in the city of trees on the Isle of Druids. I'm sure he'll reward you too. Good day, and thanks again. So we got 50 shards. Very nice. We have the willow staff to bring, and that's it. We're going to head back into the forest. Let's venture deeper and see what happens. You hack your way through the undergrowth until you stumble across an old ruin. Creepers and forest moss have grown over most of it, but you can see mask-like faces set into the walls glaring down at you as if in angry outrage at your intrusion. You come to a massive stone slab, clearly a door. Set into the middle of it is a round granite face, the visage of a sleeping demon. Suddenly an eye pops open and regards you curiously. By the tentacles of Tintalon, exclaims the face in a gravelly voice. A human! I haven't seen one of your lot in 100 years. An expression of suspicion forms on its rocky features. What do you want, anyway? Just passing through, you comment airily. Well, you can't pass through me unless you know the password, and that was given to me by Australis the Wizard King, let me see, 1,000 years ago, by Eberron. This is his tomb, you know. Oh, so how do I find the password? How do I find the password, then, you ask? Well, says the demon door, Australis was a wizard, so why don't you ask some wizards? Where would I find some wizards, you ask? How would I know, replies the door. I've been stuck here for 1,000 years. He has a point. You decide it's time to leave. Okay. So we made our way through the forest. We can go back and bring the willow staff to the oak druid if we want. I'm really curious what happens if we do that. But first let's head to the main road. And we're going to roll to see what encounter we get. Banged on the head, lose 1 stamina. That sucks. Okay. Okay, so we have a few things we can do here. We can go into the countryside, which looks adorable, to be completely honest. We can keep moving south again and go to some of these places that have the quests that we have marked that we can do. Or we can go back up and start exploring places we haven't been yet. As much as, oh, and the Lake of the Sea Dragon. That sounds cool too. I think I want to go to the countryside. As much as I want to complete some tasks, I just want to see what this countryside is. So we are going to roll for another encounter. We're crossing an open expanse of flinty ground. A few herds of sheep roam the low hills. 2, you get lost. When you finally discover your whereabouts, uh-oh, this seems like something's going to happen. You were following the course of the stinking river, and it certainly does stink. Oh, so we're back on the main road. And we rolled for an encounter, got a 4, nothing happens, beautiful. And we're back at Yellowport, which is kind of where we were headed in the first place. So I guess maybe that's a sign. We should start doing some of these little quests that we have already. So we can go down to this little swirly area down here and do one of them. Or we can go near Marlock City and do another. Yellowport. What's over here and how do we get there is what I'd like to know. Can we get there from here, from Venefax? What happens when we go to Venefax? Venefax is a strange looking village. It looks like a single gigantic building. All the houses are joined together to form a jumbled mass, and none of the houses have doors. The only way in is through the holes in the rooftop. Ladders lead up to the roof, which in effect forms a network of streets that the inhabitants travel across to get to certain buildings. That's so cool. We had to build it that way for defense, says a passing farmer. You see, the scorpion men from the south can't climb, so they can't get inside the town. Wandering around, you clamber down a ladder into a long, low hall, the Venefax market. A sign reads, "Closed on Thursday." Fortunately, it's not Thursday. Actually, it is Thursday. And a stocky, barrel-chested man with piggy eyes introduces himself as Fors, the master of the market. There's not much for you to buy or sell in this provincial market. Items with no purchase price are not available locally. Well, I'm just curious. Yeah, it just looks like all the normal stuff. Could get some adventuring gear, but we don't have very much money. Okay, we could go to the inn. Maybe something will happen in the inn. The tavern costs 1 shard a day. We are a little low, not low on stamina. We have 1 stamina down, but I don't think we need to do that. But I would like to ask him about the scorpion men. "They're vicious, evil devils," says an old peasant. "Like huge scorpions they are, save that they have the head and shoulders of a man. Intelligent, too, forever seeking to pillage our town, but they can't climb up the ladders." A soldier in the local militia speaks up. "They hate fire, too. All we have to do is sit atop the town and pepper them with flaming arrows. They can't stand that for long. Mind you, things are getting bad. They've got a sorcerer now." A young man, blind in one eye and paralyzed down one side, says, "They got a terrible sting as well. Their venom did this to me," pointing at his eye and side. "There's not much else to hear, so you leave." Alright, well, I guess we'll leave the town and go... Oh, so this is Scorpion Blight, so that's where they live. I feel like one of these was some... Yeah, okay, so the Book of the Seven Sages is trying to collect the book from the Scorpion Men. It says it's a hard quest, so I'll probably die. And I don't have a resurrection, which means this would be the end of Marana. And I'm not sure I'm into that right now. Let's see what happens when we take the Eastern Road. So we're on a road between the Blessed Springs and Venefax. Pilgrims, the sick, and the injured travel this route to the holy waters of the Blessed Springs to find salvation. Let's see, we're going to roll for our encounter. Nothing happens. Okay. We're going to go up to the Blessed Springs. The village of Blessed Springs, nestling at the foot of a tall hill, has grown up around the holy waters, a special spring said to have healing powers. It's been fenced off by the villagers and a priesthood appointed to supervise the supplicants who come to bathe or drink of the spring's waters. There's no market, but an alchemist has set up shop here. Cool. And there is a tavern. So let's first check out the alchemy shop. So these are expensive and I am poor. Comeliness, it'll add charisma. but only for that combat. Oh, so it doesn't even permanently add a stat. I do think it's worth 50 shards to get a healing potion. Okay. The rest of these, stealth, scouting, all of our stats, but not right now. The Blessed Ale Tavern costs a shard a day, same thing. We can buy drinks and listen for rumors. A few locals are discussing recent events. It seems some hideous beast has made its lair in a cave on the hill that overlooks the village. It's a gorlock, says a farmer, and it's amassed quite a bit of treasure by all accounts, lifted from its victims. A brave adventurer like yourself could get rich if you killed it. You'd be doing us a favor as well. You ask what a gorlock looks like, but nobody knows. Nobody's come back to tell the tale, says the innkeeper. There's not much else to hear. Okay, so there's a gorlock in a cave somewhere. I'm wondering if that's anything. No, we still don't know. It's not really a task. And then now that we're on this road, we could go up to Fort Brillin, but let's make our way back to the Isle of the Druids. Okay, we rolled another encounter and nothing happened. And hopefully when we get there, we'll be able to set off onto another task. All right. Okay, I want to leave. This is where we came in, right? No. Okay, this is bad. I guess we're gonna fight. Welcome to my poor choices. Okay. You're on the cobbled road between Yellowport and Marlock City. It's well kept by the Sokaran military. You spot a man up ahead striding towards you. Suddenly, 5 or 6 bandits appear from the wayside to assault him. The lone figure executes a series of movements almost faster than the eye can see, and you see his sword flashing in the sun. Moments later, the bandits are all lying dead or dying around him. You stop to compliment him on his swordmanship. The man, a grizzled veteran of many campaigns, regards you with steely gray eyes and says, I have learned much of the arts of war in my time. It's true. Impressed by his skill and demeanor, you venture to ask him to teach you some of the arts. He looks you up and down with a critical eye. So this is a combat roll. It's a difficulty of 9. We have a 6. It's going to be hopefully pretty easy to get this. We have a odds of success of 91.67%. We rolled a 12, so we got a successful roll here. He seems to see something he approves of because he says, perhaps, but first you must prove yourself. There is a knight, a man of great evil. He's known as the Black Dragon Knight. Defeat him in battle and I will teach you. Bring me back his black dragon shield as proof of your valor. With that, he turns and walks away. Oh, okay. So we got this Black Dragon Knight quest. Okay. But how will I find him? And then how will I find you, you cry. Would you have me kill him for you as well? He asks over his shoulder. As for the second, ask for me in the Blue Griffin Tavern at Karen Baru. My name is Yanrit the Sun. You come to the top of Windswept Cliff. An ancient pillar of jumbled rock, pitted and weather-beaten, stands at the cliff's edge like a broken finger pointing at the sky. Seagulls sing their song of desolation in the air. Judging by the runes etched into the rock, the tour dates back to the time of the Shadar, a race that once ruled Harkuna so long ago they are lost in myth and legend. Let's go down to the beach. You climb down a narrow track to the beach. The sea pounds the rocky shore and the spray lashes your face. A mournful yet utterly captivating singing suddenly fills your ears. You look out to the sea and spot several mermaids and mermen, cavorting in the surf. Come to us, one of them calls in a lilting voice that fills you with a yearning desire to plunge into the sea and swim out to them. Okay, so we have a sanctity roll again. We have a sanctity of 3, a difficulty of 10, which gives us only a 40% odds. I don't like those. Let's see what happens. Oh, nice. Okay, we're having a good roll day today. So we got a successful roll, and it says, how can I come out to you? I would drown in the sea. Is that what you plan? You ask angrily. Don't you know, sighs one of them, the kiss of the merfolk gives the power to breathe the waters to one of your kind for a short time. The others laugh mischievously. I feel like that is not true. And I feel like Morana thinks it's not true. I think she's too uh, suspicious of people. We're going to examine the runes here. And we have to do a magic roll. We have an odds of success of 72. If we roll an 11, we got a 14 again. Successful roll. The runes are written in Old Shadar, an ancient language from thousands of years ago. You realize that the runes form a spell that will give you the power to breathe underwater for a few hours. Well, that's nifty. Okay, so gills grow out of your neck as soon as you have read the runes aloud. You make your way down to the track to the beach and swim out to sea. The gills work perfectly, and you find yourself swimming in the eerie silence of a submarine world. Suddenly, hideous forms loom out of the murk. They're rather like giant squids, but they carry spears on one of their many tentacles and wear rudimentary armor. Great black eyes shine with an implacable alien intelligence. You realize the creatures are some of the legendary repulsive ones. They're swimming past you intent on their own business, so you follow them in hopes that they will lead you to the sunken city of Ziu Sudra. Your instinct was correct. The seabed suddenly drops away to reveal the ruins of the sunken city of Ziu Sudra. Crumbling towers climb out of the hazy green depths, and shoals of flashing silverfish dart through the abandoned windows and doors of coral-encrusted buildings. The creatures you are following arrow down toward a large dome-like structure covered in waving tendrils of seaweed. They disappear through a hole in the roof of the dome. Carefully, you swim down to the hole and look through into the palace of the repulsive ones. Oh my gosh. Inside, the dome is lit with an eerie yellowish glow that comes from the sea moss that carpets the ceiling. At the far end, a grotto in the wall contains an idol made from seashells and coral, presumably of Ons, the god of the repulsive ones. At its feet lies the golden net of Olvir and Valmir, the object of your quest. Between you and it swim several of the giant squid creatures, carrying out various undersea chores. Well, I think this is as good a place as any to stop for the day. Tomorrow we'll make our choice if we swim back, if we fight, if we go in with magic, or if we try to look for a solution some other way. We have some options here. Think about what you would do if you were Marana in this moment. I don't know what I'd do. I guess I'm gonna have to pick. Anyway, thanks so much for coming along for the ride with me today, beautiful, wonderful friends. I'll see you next time as we continue our playthrough of Fabled Lands.